Dave Vest for ArizonaCoyotes.com. I'm talking with the Coyotes' new head coach, Rick Tocchet. Rick, first of all, just welcome back to Arizona. Tell us, if you would, how easy or difficult was this decision for you to leave Pittsburgh after 2 Stanley Cups to come back to Arizona?
Well, it was twofold, because obviously leaving Pittsburgh, it was sad. You know, I have a lot of great relationships there. It was a hell of a run we had there. For me, I loved my time there. The exciting part is I get to come to an area that I probably was going to live when I retired. I love the area. I used to play here. I saw the fan base, the way they supported us back then. So I see that vision. And then obviously talking to Andrew and John and asking them, as much as they were asking me questions, I asked them a lot of questions about the stability and where are we going with this thing. And it was all commitment, positive, energy, excitement. Those were the kind of the words they said to me. And then we went through a process for 2 weeks, and you know, they offered me a 4-year deal, which I think is a commitment, and I think this is a great job to have. And I'm excited about it.
Rick, if you would, please tell us about your style as a head coach and what our fans can expect to see from this team starting in October.
Well, I want to bring a real positive. You know, when you have young kids, you got to be very positive. You know, I'm going to bring accountability. I mean, you know, that's something that I will tell the kids, that we're going to have accountability. They have to have a belief when they come to the rink they have a chance to win. You know, once they hit that door, they have a chance to win. When they get in their car ride home, they have a chance to win the next night. That's the attitude we have to have. And we're going to, every time you come to Rick, we're going to try to get better. You know, whether it's through video, practice, the way we eat, the way we train, the way we travel, all that sort of stuff is kind of a byproduct of winning. And I think that's something I'm going to, you know, share my knowledge with the young kids. And we have a couple older veteran guys that have won before too. They're going to help me too. They'll be an extension of our coaching staff, the Sean Wilsons and Stefan. So that'll really help me too.
Rick, when you look at this roster on paper, what excites you about it, and what are your goals for this first season?
My goal is to make everybody play better. As a coach, that's your main focus. If I can have everybody play better than they did last year, that's a win-win. Obviously, you know, I want this team to own their room. It's their room, not my room. I'm not the show. They're the show. I'm going to help them. So that's my goal. Wins and losses, I can't give you a win-loss. I don't know. But the other things I think we can win are those things. You know, can I make a guy a better leader? Can I make a guy more accountable? Can I make a guy a self-starter where, you know, he'll go up practice early on himself. I don't have to push him. And I will push guys. I mean, I know, talking to some players, they want to be pushed, and hopefully I push the right buttons, and it's a partnership. Nowadays, as a coach and a player, there's a partnership for the main goal to win a Stanley Cup.
Are you okay with the balance of players on this roster, and by that I mean veterans to rookies and younger players?
Well, there's not always a perfect, you know, situation. I don't care. You know, in Pittsburgh, you know, you're always trying to find balance. But I think there's some, you know, John always talked about, you know, we're not done. He's going to try to make some other type of moves. But in the meantime, my job, whoever I have right now, I'm going to coach them as hard as I can. And that's kind of, you know, eventually, hopefully you find the balance that you want. But right now, it's a matter of just, you know, coaching guys who you have and getting a training camp ready and getting guys excited.
Okay, so the season begins, believe it or not, 12 weeks from today.
Yeah.
Does that feel like 12 years from now or 12 hours?
Well, I just finished like 2-3 weeks ago, so I don't mind the 12 weeks. I don't want to rush too much. But no, it's, you know, I shared the story about Brendan Perlini was in the dressing room today. Yeah. You know, it's July. So, but that's the excitement I want. Yeah. You know, that's the excitement I want. There's plenty of time. You know, there's a lot of work to be done, but there's plenty of time.
That's what I was getting at. Do you feel like there's enough time here, and will this team be ready to roll?
Yeah, you know, my big goal, obviously, I get a couple of assistant coaches. That's number one. Right. I'll get a systems taped together. You know, if guys want to watch it before training camp, so they know the style of play, I think that will help. I got to make phone calls to some players. I got to get to know them. Hopefully, I see some guys around the valley in the next month. I might travel somewhere to meet a couple other guys. I think that's important. You know, I think the one-on-one stuff here in the next 2-3 months is really big. That people will get to know me, and I'll get to know the players. So I think that's a big thing that I gotta do, because I love communicating. I want to make sure that they're not afraid to communicate with me.
Last question for you. I'm just curious. now that you're a head coach, or you've been an NHL head coach, but taking it on again, has there been a coach in your past, either as a player or as an assistant, that you've learned a lot from and will bring with you into this role? Can you tell us any stories?
Well, that's a great question. I was lucky enough to play for the great Scotty Bowman. I loved his bench management. I played for Jim Schoenfeld. I love Jim Schoenfeld's communication with the players. He was a really nice guy. Mike Keenan, he was a very intimidating guy. Mike Sullivan, I coached with him for 2.5 years. Hell of a coach. So if I can bottle a little bit of all those guys, man, I got a head start on a lot of people. But my style is, I'm not going to be a yell and screamer. I know people think that I'm going to be walking with a big stick and hitting guys with it. No, I mean, I'm a communicator. Hey, there's going to be the odd time you're going to have to blast a few times, but I'm a communicator. I want to make sure I'm a teacher, communicator, and like my door's always open.